So, let's see. So, what's your all's name?
My name's Gab Tarabolsi. I'm the producer-director on the film, on Funke.
And your name?
My name is Evan Funke.
S-
I'm
Uh,
funky.
yeah, I love that. I love the sense of humor.
The Funky and Funky.
So, how you all got together?
Well, this all started about 2.5 years ago when we started hearing rumblings of Evan staging his culinary comeback on Abbot with this restaurant that would be Felix. So as soon as we heard that was in motion, we started approaching him and asked if he'd want to have the entire process chronicled.
I like that. Very educational. I mean, Evan, you're very much aware about the celebrity chefs and the wannabe celebrity chefs that came out of the Food Network that started a whole industry where food meets entertainment. And I wonder how you felt about that. You know, you're making a comeback. You're under a lot of pressure to get this restaurant up and running. And all of a sudden, this guy came over and said, "Hey, I want to document you, building the restaurant back from scratch, from the ground up in the process." So, how you felt about that?
Yeah, why did you say yes to this?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Okay, got yeah.
No, I mean,
Why on earth would you say yes to this?
I don't think that. I don't think that the pressure that you refer to is anything different than any other restaurant opening in the entire world. Opening a restaurant is one of the most difficult things that anyone can possibly do. My restaurant is no different from that, whether it's a supposed comeback or not. I just chose to take myself out of the public eye. So I don't look at it as a comeback to anything. I never went anywhere. If anything, I chose to go on hiatus in order to relearn the business and to find partners that could know me on a deeper level and someone I could trust. So when Gab reached out, I don't think I was necessarily ready for the depth of or the intimacy that is connected with doing a documentary on one's life. So I went into it with good intentions, and I think Gab and Alex also went into it with very good intentions. And it's super raw. This is real life. There's no bullshit here. This isn't scripted, unscripted. It's not a reality television show. This is my real life. Good, bad, ugly, beautiful. And I think these guys have really done a spectacular job capturing it.
Well, you know me as a food writer, and I'm definitely a foodie. And I'm definitely a chef's daughter from Charleston, South Carolina. So I am spoiled, educated when it comes to real gourmet quality food. And with you letting him in, it's almost like an educational process for all the youngins who think they want to become chefs. And as a food writer, I have seen many restaurants and many chefs I just fall in love with, and they lasted all of 6 months.
Yeah, that's an amazing takeaway, actually. Like the peek behind the curtain of what life really is like in the pursuit of restaurants and being a chef. That's definitely something we wanted to, look under the veil and see, like, what is it to open a restaurant? What is it to want to execute on the highest level in the culinary world? So I think that's a really good takeaway, that it might, young chefs that see this, like, will get a sense of what they're in for
Yes.
if they choose this career path.
Yeah.
I think for the most part, my perspective is very unique. I would say the majority of chefs have not gone through what I went through. They don't have the taste of defeat. They have never opened a restaurant with their own money and watched it fail, implode, crash and burn, fill in the blank, and then have to relearn the business from the other side of hell. So my perspective is very well-rounded. So when young chefs do reach out to me via Instagram or email or whatever it is, I'm never one to shy away from telling them the absolute ugliest truth possible, because what you see on TV is edited for TV, and it only shows either the best or the worst. But it's not real. And
Yeah.
This is real. So I think that perspective lives in this movie, good or bad.
Yeah, and I think there's an element of like a cautionary tale story that is perhaps why you were so on board with, having people live in your shadows for so long.
I'm a teacher at heart. I just so happen to be a chef on the side.
All right, so since you are the protagonist in this documentary, what lessons do you have to teach all those youngins coming up the ranks and say, I want to become a chef? And they spend a whole lifetime watching food, like say Food Network or the Cooking Channel or even PBS, like I was when I was a youngin. What lessons are you going to whip their ass into?
I think the most important thing, a couple of things, is don't skip steps, don't skip rungs in the ladder. Number one, and number two, this is an experiential based industry. This is a career, and I think a lot of young people are driven by celebrity. They're driven by money. They're driven by the title. They want the title. They want to be a sous chef. But I wish many, many times that I could go back to just being a line cook and not have to worry about the stresses and responsibilities, heavy responsibilities of the 60 plus employees that I have at Felix. And I don't think that we touch a little bit on that in the movie. The culinary educational system in the United States and worldwide really doesn't pay any kind of attention to the actual job of a chef. It's mostly about the cooking, and this movie kind of envelops that. If you are not educated or you don't take the steps to educate yourself in the ins and outs of business, even if you're a novice at it, you must understand it. Otherwise, this industry, if you choose to own a restaurant, it will chew you up and spit you out.
Literally, the pun is very literal. Because my dad was a United States Navy chef and in nuclear submarine leagues I need to see, and that's why I can cut very fluently. But yeah, at the same time, also I went to FITM for fashion, and it was not a sweatshop, but it was a sweatshop because you gotta look at the details, make sure the whole outfit does not fall apart at the seams, literally. So do you see a correlation with the reality of the sweats of fashion, working in the line cook, and the sweat and tears of working as a line cook in behind the scenes in the kitchen? Do you see a correlation between that, or?
I think
Yes.
the culinary industry has many, many different similarities with many different industries. Take for instance medical. Medical industry and the culinary industry are very, very closely aligned. Long hours, high stress, etc., etc. So I've never worked in fashion. All I know is that line cooks spend more money on aprons than they do on books these days. So that's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Don't worry, I met a former chef who started her own apron company and is taking off like nobody else.
But she's no longer a chef.
That's true. It's okay. Okay. So of all the chefs of all the world and all of LA, why do you pick Evan to be your subject matter?
Well, I feel like Evan is, a walking, talking movie poster. He's incredibly cinematic in the way that he presents himself. He's got this demeanor of, beard, head, and yet he's making these very poetic pasta shapes. So there's definitely a contrast with the way he looks, with the way he talks. Obviously, what he's been through to pursue his dreams would definitely be a good dramatic story. And just working in culinary filmmaking, we met a lot of chefs that are incredible talents in the kitchen, but have a lot of difficulty expressing vocally, their journey, their passion. They just don't tell a good story about their lives. So yeah, you can film beautiful stuff, but you don't have the philosophy that makes it greater than the sum of the parts of the dish. And with Evan, it felt like we were just getting, Hamlet soliloquies about life every time we turn the camera on.
So one more question for Evan. I did try some of your pasta. And do you believe how the food, the dish, does it reflect and represents the chef who makes it?
Not only that, but it reflects your immediate environment, your temperament, your mood, your energy. I think that I've met a lot of chefs that are less than cordial and impolite, and I've read that in their food. So I feel that, that's part of the beauty in what I do, is that the energy of the Maestro Alessandro and Kozaku, both of those masters that I've dealt with have lent me their energy, lent me their perspective, lent me their chi and their movements, and those live in my pasta. So if I'm in a bad mood, there's no way that I'm going to go into the lab and roll pasta. There's just no way, because I will transfer that energy into the pasta. I will transfer that energy to a cook. I will transfer that energy to a customer, a guest. I would never allow that to happen.
Well, I love your integrity, and I like the flavor of your integrity because I have your pasta. Well,
I got one thing to add just to this, because in terms of being represented in your food, I remember Evan said something once, and I wish we'd gone in the movie, but he said, when you sit down to a bowl of my spaghetti, you're not just eating that spaghetti, you're eating the 20 years of research and pursuit and trial and error that brought this plate in front of you. And that's always something that, I latched onto. It just wakes you up to how much journey there is in everything that you eat these days when you go to restaurants like Felix.
Personal anthropology.
Exactly.
that's funny because I study anthropology, sociology, and psychographic and psychology before I even met you all right here. So it does go deep. And when I get around to writing my article about this interview, I may have to entitle it "Eating Evan Funke" because you are eating his energy.
Totally.
I dig it.
Well,
Thank you so much.
oh, you're welcome.